Would anybody like to come inside and see the reality of truth? I speak to one who says he's my mother. He says he's my mother. Then he says he's my father. Then he says he's my brother. Then he says he's my sister. And all in all, I come from a world where a brother, a father, a sister, and a mother are all friends. So therefore, who am I actually speaking to when someone has to refer to himself, but listen, I'm your brother. So I'm going to take you on to a stroll. And the stroll is about the fisherman, because everything I do is off the top of my head. Who am I? A guy that can't even spin Rubik's Cubes, but that understands if you round it off, there are no corners, and it can turn forever, and no one's going to see when time switches over. Other than knowing on top is always number one. But the center of the side here, once it turns, it's gone. Once it turns, it's gone. So where is reality? What is reality? I'm going to take you into a realm right now, very simple, because I'm not a smart guy. I have to go down to the nitty-gritty where I'm going to a 3-year-old and saying, you think it's a number 1? You think it's a number 2? And the kid turns around, he says, 2? He says, you used the toilet paper. He says, try and roll it around your fingers at least twice. He says, number 1, he says, you can take off a little sheet and just dab the end just to get the extra drip off. The minute he says drip off, someone's behind me. He says drip off. He says, what are the gutters leaking from the roof of my building? Or is it a drip off and it's good to the last drop? I could have had a salada. But the rip off of the whole thing has been made in our own reality. Blind to where D shows number 8. To where everything has 2 sides, because if it didn't have 2 sides, you can never go all the way around. And if you can't go all the way around, then it is half. Every letter you see is half a letter. So when you start to see what goes all the way around and what is half, you will understand. The A has 2 points. Why does the A have 2 points? Because the minute you get to a first point, it creates the cross. The Aleph, which goes this way, the Aleph goes this way, from one point to the other point, showing you diameter. And then with the 2 legs, it shows you height and diameter. If this is like this and this is like this, but this is not the same thing. This is the same thing, but this is not the same thing, because if I take Aleph and go the top down all the way, I'll be chopping into the next world. If I do a straight line, like the bottom of a B, I can go all the way up. But if I take a paper, and this is the Aleph leg, look where the Aleph is. The Aleph is in this corner, right? But if I go all the way down in sections with the Aleph, I'm in the other world. But look, the center of me has only reached the bottom here, while this has gone into the other realm. Crazy shit, you know, but true. How will it help you? I'm not sure. What do you do for a living? Maybe if you're doing for the living for what I'm doing at the moment, you'll see what I'm seeing. And you'll be saying, hey, that's it. But it's only me and you. And it only takes 2. Before anything begins, it takes 2. You want to play a game? Either you're playing with yourself, or you enjoy it as 2. So what we're going to come up here and do right now is this picture of the 4 fish. Here are my 4 fish. Now, does the fish have an eye on the left? Does the fish all have the eyes on the left? But then he's looking to the left. He's on his left side of his body. Here, he's looking to the right, on his right side of the body. When you look with your 2 eyes, you look on both sides of the body. Both sides. Both sides of the body. Both sides of the body. Bow tie the body. Now we have to understand why do we need 4 fish? Why can't I just use 3 fish? Well, if I use 3 fish, okay, I'm going to show you the result of 4 fish. And you couldn't do it unless you had 4 fish. That's why Jesus walked around with 4 people who were fishermen to explain that the only 1 fish that comes over here, now you see that we drop 1, we drop 1, 2. You must drop 2 in order to have the half above and the half below. You can't drop 1. If you drop 1, you cannot put the point. There's your 7. You drop 2. Now you draw this, and now you can draw this one side, and here's your second side. So your 7, you can't draw the line in the center because they're not showing a half. You're showing the half on the floor. Now you're showing the left half. First you were showing 1/4 on the top. This is now half. First you showed a quarter. Quarter to 7. 6, 45, 405, 465. The Federation, Aleph in 4 corners. Aleph, 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 Aleph takes 4 to create 1, which will now understand here is the nut sticking out, waiting for the other half. So I put, and I can create, instead of just this 1 core fish, which will then turn in, obviously I'm going to show you what it turns into after the redesigning one of these fish, where the tails come all the way down, and all the way down, and all the way to the front. And now we have one fish in the middle of all 4 fish leading the other fish. What is this over here? We now have a cube. We now have a cube. Here's your cube. Now we can start building. You see the block over here? You see the block that starts over here, C and C? This will be the center of the 2 sets of 4. And then the squares that fit in between, your 8. We need 88. That means we need 4 here. I need another set here. I need set here, and a set here. And then we need to get into the next set. You see, inside of all your sets, right? Let me just show you 2, 3 boxes. Now, if you start from outside, so I'll take it from here to here to here, 1. Then I'll take it all the way down to here, 2. Then I'll take it all the way down to here, 3. But now I need to get out of the box. So I have to create another box, right? And take it from this level and go all the way to here, 4. I need 4 of these to get into the 4th box. This is 1, this is 4, this is 7. What's this? That's right. 1 again, level 2. Binary. Binary, 0, 0, 1, 2. Answer is 20. Binary 0, 0. The first one is 1, the second one is 2. Answer is 20. J gets T. And then this one and this one go all the way around and relink together. Here you are, relinking all these things back together. This is why we need the 4 squares. This is the reality of 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17 plus 3 is 20, plus 3 is 23, plus 3 is 26, plus 3 is 29, plus 3 is 32, plus 3 is 35. 2, 5, 8, 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 4 is 5. 1 and 7 is 8, 2 and 0 is 2, plus 6 equals 8. And 2 and 3 equals to 5, 2 and 6 equals to 8. What do you get? 8, 8, 5, 8. This 5 means it is in the center because you need here and you need here, but nothing's happening. Well, now we're going to get life over here and get life over here. East-west life comes in with the light, and it goes out through a little hole at the bottom, right? One end is big, one end is small. When you got hole, right? The paisley, the fleur-de-lis, when you got holes, you got half. It takes pieces and parts to create it all. You got to go around the nuts. How did we go around the nuts? Is it all whole around the nuts? But there's a piece at the top and there's a piece at the bottom for the flower to go in and the hair to grow. Do you ever see what this is? Money. My eye. Take out. Remember, when we reflect and do words, we must break up the words into syllable. And you put M-O-N-E-Y, and then you put E-N-O-M. Now you take out this part, and you see what's happening here. You saw the ending, told me my eye. This says, no. How about the life in my eye? My name is Vietnam. V is life. E-T, extraterrestrial of Earth time. M is love. 1 and 3. 1 and 5, 1 and 4, 13, 14, and 15. Average of 42. Here, 25 and 10, 35 and 42, 77. Money, my eye is Christ. 7 and 7, it is the gateway. Here's where the fish came in. over here. Now what I'm going to show you off this fish is something I always like to do. We're just going to have to go all the way up with this here and go all the way up with this here. Now we're going to connect it to the next block. I know I put this in the way. Now I'm going to connect it to the next block. What would go here if this went here? We have these two sides, okay? We come out, this is over here, and we come out, where would the next lines go? Well, the next lines would be like this, and the next lines would be like this. See it here, see it here, see it here, and see it here. And now you just drag it back. Because now we can do the fish tails, point to point, tail to tail. It comes over here. So we take this, we look at this, we see anything else? Yes. We cap it off on this side. We're capping it off. It's the end. We've brought everything together. Now we just have to trace out what it possibly was. Let's see what this fish looks like. Looks like the arms on the outside. Looks like somebody's mad. Looks like somebody's mad. I see somebody's mad. See somebody's mad right over here. Two yellow beaming eyes, right? And we're gonna get a little sky, a little orangey hair up here. Okay, we're gonna put a little thing here, little thing here. I'm not a big designer. I'm gonna turn the hair a little this, and I'm gonna just finish it all with that yellow up here. Now the rest of it, well, I'm missing something. So I better just put the whole thing like this. And what did that fish turn into? It looked to underneath the water. Underneath the water, where the mug and dove it stands, is something below here. And then this one is another one here. Do you see? Here there is a line dividing Y and Y. When I drew this fish over here, okay, here's my flat tail is on this side. It's not in the middle, so I'm showing the first flat tail in the middle for the first time, showing this Y and Y. See, here's a Y over here. Here's a Y over here and a Y over here, but there's no distance. There's a distance between this Y over here. Here's a Y over here and a Y over here. 52, 27, and 25. The missing area is number 26. So now you see this little blue iceberg. Okay, now what else is this going to go? This is your pyramid. You see the 120-degree broken angle that's on it inside the mug and dove? This is inside the mug and dove. Remember, it's turned to the side. Everything is turned to the side. How do you want to see it flat? Turn to the side. You can see how thick my hand is. Turn to the side, straight in front of you, but turn to the side. I can't get this into the camera, but now I could. But now I can't, but now I could. Turn to the side. What the letter Z can do, the Z is a climber, climbs up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Here's your letter Z. It took 1, 2, 3, 4. In and out, 52 and 52, 26, 26. That's why you can't use the 26 because it's been used in Z, and 14. And 14 is used in N and Z. And you want to see something? Numbers 5 and number 8. Number 258, 258, 258, 258. 8 once, 8 twice, 8 3 times, 8, 8, 8 equals to 24, and it also equals to 18. Why? Because the reverse of your 5 and 3, 8, the reverse is 2 and 4, 6. 3 and 5 is 2 and 4. 3 and 5 and 2 and 4. The reverse of your 4 and 4, 8, is 3 and 3. 4 and 4 and 3 and 3. The reverse of your 6 and your 2, 8. 6 and 2, 5 and 1. 6 and 2, 5 and 1.
This is ISIS. This is Electric Company and the Bad Cat. B and D. 24th letter is the letter X, center C. Where is center C? That's right. For me, it's the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean. Do you know why it's the Mediterranean? Because in Monopoly, you cannot get there. The biggest property in Monopoly is the Mediterranean for $60. Its value is $60 because if you have listen, in baseball, you get 7 pitches. Okay? 4 of them are balls and 3 of them are strikes. In either one of them, you must leave home. So the maximum is 7. It's 2 strikes and 3 balls. 5 is the count. Only 6 of them can happen because on the 7th one, they both happen. One of them ends up going to the garbage. When you walk with 4 balls and you have 2 strikes, 1 strike is now reserved. But you have to throw it out. You never get to use that strike because you walked with 4 balls. Otherwise, you never get to use 3 strikes if you walked on 4 balls with no strikes. The Mediterranean is center C. That is the 24th letter from one side and the 29th from the other side. Therefore, if I had to run through the strike zone, I would have to get 8 men to the plate in order to hit this number. That number would be 8 by 3. Okay, I would have to get 7 times 4 to get to this number, and I would have 1 extra. I would get 28 plus 1. That is the spirit, to be 1, 2, 8, 9. But you don't need, if you get 1, 2, 8, 9, you don't need the 2. It's inside the 8 and inside the 9. 9 and 2 is the 7th gate. 2 and 4 is 6, outside of the piano. If you're playing baseball, the Mediterranean is the center C. The center C is the letter X. Inside X value takes 4 relationships. The V letter equals to 22 times 4. Grover Cleveland equals to 1 times 24X, which is the center C, and it says sexy on it. You think they did it that way purposely? We have how many 5s? 1 5, 23 is 5, 14 is 5, and 5 is 5. We have 4 times 5. But the total of 4 times 5 equals 74. 5, 19, E, N equal D, A, and X, and S. Sex. 14 plus 5 is S. 19. 5 is E. 14th letter is N. 24th letter is X. 74 is the total. 23. If we go to 888, the 20 is no longer a 2. 2 is a 2. 1 and 1 is 2. Forget about the 20. Where do we get the next one? On 31. How come I don't have that here? 29, 30. Where is that? Hold on a second. 20, 29. Oh, that's the last one. 29 is the last one. 2 and 9. That's 11. See that right over there? That's your 11. This one comes from outside the area. 24 is not in the area. It's in the area of 6. This one's in the area of the center. So we take 29, which is a 2, and we take 11, which is 2. We get 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2. But let's not count 20 because 0 equals 6. This becomes now your 4th 8. That means we get 4 times 8 inside of this. We do not need more than 3 times 6. We have 4 times 8, but only 3 times 6 is 18. 4 by 8 is 32. 3 by 6 is 40. Now we get the next 6 because 0 equals 6 equals 46. And now we get the last 6 because we only can get the last 6 at the end. All 6's come together in 9, right? The last 6 becomes a 9. Upside down. So anyways, this now becomes an 8. So you got 8, 8, 8, 8. 32 becomes the doorway, and 6, 6, 6, 6, you have 24. You have 6. You have, let me, hold on a second. You have 6, you have 15, you have 24, and you have 33. See C, F, O, X. 6363636 creation. So now we did this part over here. We did the part to understand that there's 4 disciples that fish, because in between we have to flip these fish over the other way now and see what comes in between. 8, 8. Now we have to have 8 here and 8 here and 8 here. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but the fin of the fish also, we have to understand that if you don't have a double line, the line can go up from one square. You see the line going up from one square, but we need to come down on the next square. We can't come down in the same square. Otherwise, they'd call that, what is that, one angle? If you call it one angle, right, that means one part of the gateway. That means when you flip the flipper the other way, you're not going to do anything. You're guiding by one angle. Because if I went into a boat, right, if I went into a boat and I put my thing over here, right, just the end of everything is over here. And I want to guide my boat, right? Imagine you're guiding your boat like this. This is in the back of the boat. So you put this to turn your boat this way, but your boat pushes on here. You push it here. Okay, you're driving, you push it here. You push the wave, you turn right. But if your thing is pushed all the way out to here, how good would the guidance be if your front tires are turning in the back? Another thing I wanted to show is 222. 8 times 222 is 1776. This is 2 hours and 22 minutes equals 120, and 22 equals 142, the bad cat. Times 4, or times 2. 2 sides of the clock, 444. This is 240, and 44 is 284. This is Pluto. But if I had this at 224, this would now say 448. 4 times 60. 4 times 60 is 240, and 48 equals to 288. That's the number we want. That's the end of the year. That's the real year. That's the year I get. It's 288.8. 1.25 times this equals 360. That's the end year for something to do with the clock of time. 72 times 4. 448 equals to 112 times 4. 112 equals to 56, and 56, which is 2112. The 7th gate of the 7th gate, and it equals to 4 moons. 4 moons is everything you need. 5 by 6 is 30. 5 by 6, 30. 5 plus 6, 11. The 41st property is go and go, but 41 times around Monopoly is the first time you will get the Mediterranean, and 41 reverse is 14, equaling to 55. 4114, and Grover Cleveland of Sesame Street is hanging on a pole and saying 1441, which is also dad, mom, and DNA. So we're going more than just a clock on this. I have to calculate. Don't forget, the hours, 12 hours from now, it'll be 19. It doesn't mean the 22 is moving. We just need to move the earth. I don't need to move the minutes. If I double it, I'm only going half. You're only going half anyways because you're running on half clocks. The whole clock's a different story. Everything runs in halves and sides and tops and quarters. The minimum size you need for the center is this. Why? Because you need the top right, you need the bottom left. In diameter ratio, everyone needs its own measurement from the center. So I need to go out to here, out to here, out to here, out to here, and this is my complete measurement going 1, 1, 1, 1 all around. 1, 1 all around leaves 1 here and 1 here and 1 here. That's a minimum of 4. So you have to work on 4. So you start with 4, and then you have a diamond head and a diamond head and a diamond head and a diamond head. Now the question is, why does it look like this, and why did I add on this? Why does it look like the flag? Why does it look like the Magen David? Why does it look like the Magen David? It looks like the Magen David because I have to run, you see this arm over here, and this arm over here, and this arm over here, and this arm over here. I must make this square. Once I've made this square, I've boxed in my perfect size. I don't have to go again because this will tell me what's on the outside, this extended point over here. This extended point over here is not going any further. So these are the lines of inside the spin. Okay, these are the lines of inside the spin. Inside the spin, I like to call that Elijah. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to take from here one more on the outside. You remember where the point was, where I just marked it? Now I have to go all the way up to here, and now I have to put a cap on it there. I have to go all the way up to this line, and I have to put a cap onto here. And this will be your Star of David. And this is your Star of David. We're going to try and show you that these are the army stripes, okay, because everything has multi-level. If you do not do this, you do not show the multi-level. We must show the multi-level. This is not one band. This is a thick band. And at the same time, you have an hourglass here, and you have an hourglass on the other side. Can you see the hourglass? You know, it's funny, I keep picking up the wrong color. I'm looking for a marker right now. Okay, I'm going to try and do this myself. Here's an hourglass. And here's an hourglass. And this is squeezing in. Imagine if this was turning. You wouldn't see this. These two turn in between here. Do you see the omega sign in here? You see the sign? You see the signs for EMC squared? See the sign for the Magen David? Do you see the two eyes that come in? I need to continue these. I need a center of a center. If this goes out here, I'll have a void over here. This is only singular. We have to continue them. You have to see the way they really are. Another thing I wanted to show is this is the minimum square. You see the center here? It belongs to itself. Now how do we separate it? We must make it like this to have its own line without the lines catching each other. It must automatically be like this, and then it ends up getting squared. 724. 7 times 6 is 420, 444 minutes. 7 days a week, 24 hours equals 444. 222 equal to the BAD, the bad cat. What else did it equal? Is because this is the letter V. This is B exchanged for V. What is this? This is what? What is this? What is this? The letter V. This is when B and B comes together. I don't even know what to do. I just know it's the letter V, and the letter V is two sides in the center. It owns the center passage. Anyways, some days I remember exactly what it is. Some days I don't. V and V, 2 and 2 is 4. 3 and 1 is 4. The AC power into the B and B world. 1024 is 624 minutes. 6 days a week, 24 hours a day. 724 minutes is 10 hours and 4 minutes. This is a code creation. But at 724, 7 hours and 24 minutes becomes 444. Here it becomes 104. Now 28 minutes have passed, and I had a few more things to talk about. This is the Aleph letter. It shows it's on the bottom floor. It shows all its areas. Separation shows the height. This is the middle. So it's not showing it's on the bottom floor. It's not showing it's on one side. It's showing its center half and half to its own center square is what I'm presuming. Let me take a look into my next page. Licorn, okay, or how about licorice, or how about the unicorn? I'm not sure what to think of. I was thinking of bergamot, Bourgogne, Burgundy, French wine, or the War of Bourgogne. Has to do with the 7 and the 15 ball and pool. I was looking at this sign here and this sign here, how the 88 days and how the 169 years come together. So I have to understand this calculation. What level this is on. Don't forget, this is only one piece of a continuous piece. They didn't make it all. They showed you the primary piece, and from this you should be able to build the rest. Just like this letter over here. 1771 to 1779 was the Gaz, representing 1776 and representing 1789 and representing 1771. The diesel was 24.9, or representing the 9 Mayan days of 24. And it also said 10, 24, 9 and 10 days, showing me that we must take away a period of time, 1/10. If it was 240 hours, it says 10-day period. So that's 240 hours of a 9-day schedule. And the 1 day added in is the link, the day of prayer. 312, 104 equals 312 times 3. Communication. 321, 107. 2 times 5, 2 plus 5. The B letter is in the center of all. Equals 17 plus 6 equals 23 plus 60 equals 83 under the roof of the church. 107, 107, 107. 167, 180 equals 401 communication inside of Mercury. 57, 57 equals 1014. 57, 57, 57 equals 171, the gateway. 77 times 3 equals 231. The numbers that I cannot use inside of here, like I can use 213 because 213 equals to 71 times 3. This is all about the union of the Tea Party. 171 is 8 and 7. That is the egg, the way in, the link inside of 1 and 6, inside of it, must be inside of it. 77 is Christ. 23 is creation of the one Spirit. It's created in Christ. 114 is Abraham when the moons were split. 7 times 5, 7 plus 5 equals 35, electric company, and 12, alpha beta. ISIS, 622, 6 and now, which is a time period between 6 and 10 at night, is 16 hours, and between 10 at night and 6 in the morning. That should be looked at. Another thing, Sigmund Freud and Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, things in my mind. Denise, the end I's. When you have E's, I-Z-E, the Z turned over is an N. It's Z and E and N. Put 2 E's together, equal to 10. I put 2 E's together, equal to 10. I keep the Z, I keep the N, I get Zion. Z and N. 2 letters that turn from each other, 26 and 14. Equals to 40, equals to 46. 6 by 4, 6 plus 4 equals 10, and 24 equals 10, 24 MB. And part of the DC workage, or however that works. Buy, rent, or borrow. There was one other thing I wanted to do. I'm not sure where it is, but we're going to leave it for now. M&M, Mercury and Mars, 1313 equals Z. Venus and Mars both end in an S. 38, back to the church. Take away the new Venus number, you get 113, or 1213. 113 is KC for Kansas City, Venus and Mars. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals the mind of 86. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Something off the wall in the early morning day. Thank you for watching.